What do you think is the first step to building a muscular, athletic body like Tanjiro? I'll give you a hint. It's not going to the gym. I guarantee you, dude, that you have it all backwards because going to the gym is the last step in the process for building an anime body. So in this video, I'll give you the simple 2-step Hashira Training Roadmap that will transform you from skinny and inconsistent to jacked and confident, just like Tanjiro. So at the beginning of the Hashira Training Roadmap, we have level 1, Unyielding Spirit. Now, by the title, you might have thought that this is gonna be some gay shit, like, oh, just love yourself, or like, oh, live, laugh, love. Like, no. We're not talking about any of that gay shit. No. What we're gonna talk about is how Tanjiro, at the beginning of Demon Slayer, when he had the goal of wanting to pursue saving Nezuko and bringing her back into a human, what did he do? Did he go straight to Muzan? Did he go straight to fighting Upper Moons the moment that he picked up a sword? No. What he did was he spent, what is it, like a year, 2 years training with this sword under Urokodaki to just be able to become a Demon Slayer. At this point, his entire family has been dead for 2 whole years. How long have you been trying to go to the gym for? Maybe a few months. Maybe it's been like a year or 2 of inconsistency. At this point in Tanjiro's journey, he has spent 2 years. And it probably feels like to him that he's made no progress. So right now, you feel like you want to build an anime body, but you feel like there's something wrong with you because you haven't been able to figure it out in 2 years. But that's totally okay. Tanjiro, this character who is strong and masculine that we look up to and use as inspiration, and why I have him as a fucking gym poster, he made next to no progress for 2 years. So it's okay. But for 2 years, he was training diligently to become a Demon Slayer. But eventually, as he was doing that, he became a Demon Slayer, and he started going on missions, and then eventually he found Rui, who was a lower moon, and then he lived against him. And then eventually, after he healed, he was able to go into the entertainment district, and he fought Daki and Gyutaro, an upper moon. And then after that, he was able to go to the Swordsmith Village arc, and he fought even more upper moons. And every single time, he got more and more confident in his ability as a swordsman, and he got stronger. And over time, he started off taking forever, but he spent that time developing as a swordsman till eventually he actually felt ready to take on Muzan. Now, there was that one moment in Asakusa where he did want to fight him, but he didn't. Whereas imagine this, right? We have this version of Tanjiro who's incredibly fucking inconsistent, ADHD, and out of nowhere, he just runs towards Muzan. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I'm gonna kill Muzan. I must save Nezuko. I'm gonna do it. What would have happened? What would have happened to Tanjiro? He would have fucking died. So clearly, by having this patience, by having this unyielding spirit to understand that you will definitely achieve your goal, no matter how long it takes, you will pursue it forever. You don't have to pursue anything with this ADHD, I need it now energy. Because if Tanjiro had that energy of, I need to save Nezuko now, he would have ran straight to Muzan and died. But he knew, he had the unyielding spirit to understand that he will wait until he gets stronger. He will pursue strength and pursue growth until he is ready for it. But you don't seem to understand this lesson yourself. You seem to think, I want muscle, I want big muscles, so I'm going to go to the gym and get muscles. But that's not how it works. Right? Tanjiro wants to save Nezuko, so he thinks, I need to save Nezuko, I kill Muzan, oh, Muzan there, I kill Muzan. But if he did that, he'd die. If you tried going to the gym in the very beginning, before ever training yourself, ever improving yourself before, you're gonna fail. And that's exactly what you've been doing. You've been failing, you've been struggling. So right now, we need you to understand that going to the gym is something that we save for the end. Because right now, we need to improve our baseline version of ourselves to be capable of making progress in the gym. Just like how Tanjiro needed to improve himself as a swordsman before fighting Muzan, we need to improve ourselves. And the way that we're going to start improving ourselves is through a process that I call taking baby steps. Right now, if we want to go to the gym, What would be optimal would be going maybe 4 or 5 times a week, if we really want to, 6 days a week. But if we did that, we'd instantly give up and we wouldn't stay consistent and we'd fall into a huge rut, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 months would go by with no progress. So what we're gonna do instead is what I call taking baby steps. We're going to set a minimum standard of something that's just a little bit beyond what we're capable of. And from now on, you will not be allowed to do anything less than that standard. So I would suggest, set your minimum standard to 1 day a week. No matter how you feel, you can skip all of your other workouts, but you must hit one. What this does is that even on your worst days, you will still be forced to do a little bit. It's not so much that we'd get overwhelmed and quit, kind of like if we jump straight into doing 6 days a week, but it's just enough, 1 day a week, 1 set, that we would actually go to the gym on a somewhat consistent basis. Even if it's 1 day a week, we're still being consistent with 1 day a week. And that small win of knowing I went to the gym last week and the week before that, and eventually you'll see that you have gone to the gym for 2 months straight. And hey, would you look at that? Do you want to know what the ability of doing hard work when you don't feel like it is called? That's discipline. So by using baby steps, we develop discipline in a very small amount. But of course, we don't want to just stay at 1 day a week forever, because this isn't going to get us gains, right? What we're doing here with baby steps is we're not optimizing for optimal muscle growth. We're striving for optimal consistency. This is the mindset shift we need to have. So please, don't rush to the final boss. You might feel like you want to start working out 4 days a week, 5 days a week, so you can make the most gains. But imagine if you're in a video game and from level 1, you rush straight to the final boss, right? That's what you're fucking doing. So please don't do that. Use baby steps, and you'll see in time that you'll start moving on to the level 2. Set your heart ablaze. So if we looked at this from the perspective of Tanjiro, he fulfilled level 1 of the Hashira Training Roadmap by using baby steps to slowly work his way from a beginning swordsman to getting better, fighting more and more difficult demons so that he could feel ready to fight Muzan. But along the way, he couldn't just stay with that little bit of discomfort that we were doing with baby steps, right? Imagine if he set his minimum threshold to just killing really low-ranked demons. If he stayed there, he would never grow. And that's totally fine because we're optimizing for consistency, like I just said. But we're gonna have to grow out of that. And that's why in level 2, we're gonna implement a strategy that I call comfort zone training. Comfort zone training is simply taking baby steps to a whole nother level, right? So we're gonna have our comfort zone. And right above our comfort zone is our minimum standard. We're gonna stay there for maybe a week or 2, but what we're gonna see is over time, our comfort zone actually expands so that that task becomes comfortable. It's not gonna always be difficult, right? So that's why over time, we need to continually update our minimum threshold. That means we're going to be going from 1 day a week in the gym to we get comfortable with that 2 days a week, then 3 days a week. And then over time, your minimum standard is doing the full workout. That's called being consistent with the gym. And you get to that point by slowly incrementing your way using comfort zone training. So Tanjiro, in the very beginning, learned total concentration breathing. It's the breathing technique he used in order to use the water breathing technique, right? If he just stayed there using total concentration breathing only when he's using the sword techniques, he would become a much worse swordsman and he would never rise to the level required to fight Muzan. But get this, after he had his fight with Rui in season 1, he learned that all of the Hashira are using this advanced technique called total concentration breathing constant. They're not just breathing normally and using, I'm just gonna call it TCB, right? Because it's a mouthful. They're not just using TCB just for the moves, they're using it perpetually. So they have enhanced stamina and strength throughout their entire day. They are using this breathing technique constantly. I mean, it's called TCB, constant, right? So Tanjiro realized this, and he upped his minimum standard to using TCB constant. At first it was really difficult, right? He would wake up in the middle of the night because he wasn't doing it. But over time, it got easier, and would you look at that? His comfort zone expanded, and he started using TCB constant. It was because Tanjiro used comfort zone training to progressively add more skills to his skill set that he developed so quickly as a demon slayer. Now again, imagine if Tanjiro, from the very beginning, season 1, episode 1, learned that he needed to use TCB constant in order to become the best demon slayer possible and defeat Muzan. Do you think Tanjiro, at the very beginning of the series, could learn that skill? No, he could not. If he tried, he would have instantly given up and would have said, you know what, Nezuko, you're gonna have to stay as a demon. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to save you. But the only reason why he actually was able to learn it was because he started off learning regular total concentration breathing, and then got good at that, and then when he was developed enough as a demon slayer, he decided to then take it on when he was only a little bit outside of his comfort zone. That is a classic textbook example of comfort zone training. And get this right, not only are you going to be acting like your favorite anime characters using the same strategies that they're doing, but you're actually going to be able to become more like them. Like imagine if you're able to wake up every day, you don't even check your phone. You wake up with energy, you burst out of bed, and then you get ready, you go to school, and there's girls checking you out because you've been consistent, you've been building more muscle, and you've made more friends, so you're saying hi to all of the guys that you're meeting. They're asking you for workout advice. And then you go home, you hit an amazing workout, you feel strong, you feel confident, and you didn't even have a single thought of not going. Because why would you give up this life to go play a little bit of video games or watch some porn? It'd be fucking stupid of you. You've built up a life where you've realized that the best version of yourself just does all of this without complaining. And he was only able to do that by taking baby steps and using comfort zone training. You literally look at yourself in the mirror and you're proud of the way you look. You've built a muscular, athletic physique like your favorite anime characters. You've become more attractive. You've become more confident. And the entire way of the time, it didn't even feel that difficult. That's the beauty of this strategy. And I want you to be able to realize that future. I want you to become that version of yourself where you don't struggle with these things anymore, and you just live your life in the way that you've imagined it to be. But the thing is, all of these strategies, the baby steps, the comfort zone training, this is all just the beginning. If you want to learn every single thing required to actually build a muscular, athletic physique like Tanjiro, well, there's just so much more that you would need to learn that I can't cover inside YouTube videos here. So I've put it all inside the training arc blueprint. It'll cover all of the specific information, the knowledge, the insights, and the actionable strategies that you can use today to start seeing results. And I want to see you inside there, dude, because I know how terrible it feels when you can't even feel confident in yourself and you feel like it isn't even worth trying, because every single time you try, you fail, and every single time you think that it'll be different, it's not. But trust me, dude, I was there, and I know how to get you through that. So click the link in the description right now, join the Training Arc Blueprint, and build your dream body and change your life along with that. That's everything I've got for you today. And remember, you are the protagonist of your own story.